What Super Nintendo games would you buy if you had a $100 budget? Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. If you didn't watch part 1 of this Super Nintendo buyer series, please watch that video now. There's a link right up there in that corner. Essentially, in the first video, we bought a Super Nintendo console, the cords, 2 controllers, and 6 great games, all for a budget of $100. All of those games had a price tag on them of $10 or less, because we didn't want to blow our entire budget in one game or on one game. This time around in this video, I have my second set of $100 that I'm willing to spend, and really this is just a recommendation from me of what games I would be looking to get for the console, and again, keep in mind we're not going to blow our entire budget on one awesome game like Earthbound, because then we wouldn't be able to buy any other games. We might not even have enough of a budget to buy that one game. My second set of games, basically, these ones are all $25 or less, so nothing over $25 will be in this list to kind of allow me to buy a lot more games. First up, a lot of you are worried that this game wasn't on the first list, but this is over $10. This is Super Mario All-Stars. I put a value of this one at about $15. There is a cartridge of this that does come with Super Mario World, however that cartridge is a bit more expensive, and we already bought Super Mario World last video. This is a compilation of 4 games, all from the NES. One is called Super Mario The Lost Levels, which was really Mario 2 in Japan, and it was unreleased in North America up until this point. This is one of the best compilation cartridges out there. Highly recommend it at $15. The next game on my list is debatably one of the best Zelda games, if not one of the best games ever. This is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This game immediately always brings a smile to my face. I love the world that the game takes place in. I love this dark world. I love all the NPCs and characters, and I love how the game doesn't really hold your hand too much, like recent Zelda games, and they throw you into the adventure right away. This game I put a value of one of the highest ones in this list of $23. That means we spent $38. Let's keep going. The next one, a lot of you had on your own list first time around of $100 spent, but this one I put a value of $12. This is Donkey Kong Country. This is one of my favorite games to play with my wife. She is really good at playing this one, and I do think maybe Donkey Kong Country 2 is a little bit better, but I would start with the original in this series, and at $12 you really can't go wrong. This is made by Rareware, it's fantastic, the pre-rendered graphics look great on the Super Nintendo, and at $12 roughly, in an auction on eBay anyways, that's where I got these prices from, I think that's a great bang for your buck. So it looks like we've spent about $50, we're halfway through, we've got a few more games to go obviously. Another one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo is Megaman X. Megaman X2 and X3 to me just aren't as good, and this is also the lowest priced option of those 3 games. This is my favorite Mega Man game probably of all time, and this one I put a value at the most on the list of $25, but I really think it's worth it. Even the introduction to this game kind of walks you through what to do without telling you, and that's a really cool thing, and this game's just a heck of a lot of fun. So at $25, definitely worth it. We spent $75, we only have $25 to go in our second budget of $100. Next game up for me is Super Mario Kart. We did get 2 controllers, so it's great having some of these multiplayer games, and this is Mario Kart all the way back to its roots. This is the very first Mario Kart game. It's the origin of the races, it's the origin of battles and red shells. It's a fantastic game on the Super Nintendo that you can experience with one other player. 2 players can play, and really if you've never experienced the origins of Mario Kart, I think you have to go back to this. At $22, it is expensive, but it's a heck of a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. We only have $3 left in our budget. I'm not just going to ignore the $3, we're going to spend it on a game. The last game I could recommend, and that I was saving for this list, is SimCity. SimCity is a PC port over the Nintendo console back in 1991, but because Nintendo had a hand, basically, in bringing this game over the Super Nintendo, they actually put some Mario elements into the game. For example, Bowser can come and destroy your city. Mario you actually get as a monument after I think your city reaches over 500,000 people. It's really cool to play on the Super Nintendo. The controls aren't as good as the PC because you don't have a mouse on the Super Nintendo to use with this game, but the D-pad does do it well, and for $3, it's a great bang for your buck. There you have it, my second set for $100 spent on the Super Nintendo. I would recommend getting Mario All-Stars, Zelda: A Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Super Mario Kart, and SimCity. Now you should have, if you followed my list, 12 great games, 2 controllers, a console, and cords, all for roughly $200. And I must mention, if you ever buy this kind of games, or these kind of games in a lot, you're probably going to spend less money if you buy them all together at once, but all these prices were in US dollars from eBay auctions. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below, what would you buy on the Super Nintendo if you had $200 to spend and you need to buy a console and some controllers? What games would you buy? How would your list be different? And if you don't agree with mine, you think I left out a great game, please comment below. It was really difficult making cuts and making my own choices. Feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video. I am on Instagram now, by the way. And remember, as always, feel free to fill that like bucket, as I already said, but go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.